I don't think Mr. Haney gets involved with over the library books. Oh no, I I bet you lost the library books. I don't think Mr. Haney gets involved with over the library books. Besides, I just returned her mind. If it was good news, Arthur frowned. The big test had been the week before. It had been the hard one. Remember, Arthur? You told me after that you were how the Pilgrims came to America in 1620? Francine, Pilgrims did came to America in 1620. She looked surprised. Really? Everyone else nodded. Where's there? Francine tapped the envelope. The proof is right here, and if you fail that test, you may fail the whole year. You may fail the whole year. Oh no, said Francine. What? Said Murphy. Tell us, said Buster. Tell me, said Arthur. Never mind, said Francine. It's too terrible to think about. Arthur frowned. Oh, that's why you have to tell me, said Arthur. Alright, said Francine. What if didn't pass Mr. Evans' history test? Oh, I bet you lost the library book. I don't think Mr. Haney gets involved with over the library books. Besides, I just returned her mind. Never mind, said Buster. Arthur, he saw himself chained to the wall of a dark dungeon. Outside the barred window, Buster and the Brain were setting up the tent for camping. Muffy and Prunella were rollerblading. Arthur, he alone with only some thick, dusty books for company. Then the girl Mr. Redbones worked in. He dropped the stone. A few dropped the stone from a cone. It's too terrible to think about. And if you fail that test, it's addressed to my mother. And look what's stamped on it. And private and confidential. Plus and plus smart. Yes, smart guy. Oh, I bet you lost a library book. But I like a library book. Besides, I don't I don't think Mr. Haney gets involved with the library book. Besides, I just returned her mind. Never mind. Buster and the Brain were setting up a tent for camping. Then the guard, Mr. Redbones, worked in. He saw himself chained to the wall of a dark dungeon, outside the barred window. Look at through the bars. Oh, besides, you can't start making excuses. Do you know what kind of trouble you're in? I don't think Mr. Haney gets involved with the library books. My mother always tells me I'll light away if we've got a new limousine or cookies making a special dessert for dinner. And look what's stamped on it. Private and confidential. When Arthur gets back to the classroom, his friends rushed to his side. "We survived," said Foster, with no obvious sign of torture. Binky added. He looked a little disappointed. "What happened?" asked Francine. He held up Arthur led out aside. He held up a large brown envelope. "What did he say?" That Mr. Haney gave me this. "That's it?" asked Murphy. She reached out for a closer look. "What did he say? Is it sealed?" "It's sealed alright." Francine grabbed the envelope. "It's sealed alright." She held it up to the light. "And too thick to read through." Read through. Through. "Give it a shake," said Foster, cocking his ears. Francine shook the envelope for a moment. "It's lovely, softly. That doesn't tell us much." "It's right here. That doesn't tell us much." Binky for this is ours. Let's just open it. Francine shook the envelope for a moment. "It's lovely, softly. It doesn't tell us much." Binky for this is ours. Let's just open it. "I can't," said Arthur. "It's addressed to my mother, and look what's stamped on it. Private and confidential." "That's a bad sign," said Foster. "That's a bad sign," said Foster. "The good news is never private. Besides, I just returned her mind. Did you? Is there any wood cruiser?" "Didn't Mr. Haney give you any clues as well?" "He said it was important." "That's bad news." "The proof is bad news." "The question is, how bad is it?" Arthur wanted to think about